Hello and welcome to Pandora FMS. In today's video, we'll show you how to backup and recover Pandora FMS environment. That is the database, the server, and the web console. For the first step, we will back up these three items and then we will show you how to restore them from those. The first backup that we're going to do is that of the database. For this backup, we have two options. Do it through the terminal or use Pandora FMS console. Let's take a look at both examples. For the first option, we're going to use the console feature. To perform the backup, go to Discovery New Console Tasks section. In this new window, you will have several functions that can be performed from Pandora FMS console, but we will see the option to backup Pandora FMS database. Next, choose the periodicity of the backup, when it will be the day and time of the first run. The group, the task of the backup will be assigned to, a brief description, and the path where the backups will be stored. This path must be owned by the Apache user and have writing, reading, and executing permissions. Once configured, click Create. This will take you to a new window where all the configured discovery tasks are summarized, where you may see the new task, a brief summary of its status, and you may also force the task if you want it to be performed right now. Now we move on to the server terminal. Let's manually backup the database. You can do this backup using a single command, which you will see on screen. The "-u parameter asks you for the name of the database user, and the "-p parameter will ask you to enter the password, which you may enter next to the parameter or leave it empty and you will have to enter it next. And finally, you will have to enter the name of your Pandora FMS database. Keep in mind that the backup will be created in the directory where you are at the time of executing the command. Use gzip to compress this backup and make it take up less space on your disk, but you may not use this feature too. You may also backup the table only, for example if you want it to be the table that contains the agents of your environment. Just add the table name to the dump. As for Pandora FMS server, you may backup all the configuration files that are inside Pandora FMS directory, in etc Pandora, and the server plugins that you added in the directory where they are located. By default in USR share Pandora_server. The p parameter that we're using is to keep the same permissions that we have in the directory that we're backing up, but we can skip it. You may also backup the plugins that you do not have in the default directory. In addition, backup the files and collections of the remote agents to ensure their proper performance. And finally, backup the console over its own directory in var www html pandora_console. Now proceed to perform the restoration of backups that you just created. To restore the database, regardless of the method you used to create the backup, do it manually using the terminal. First, stop Pandora FMS server and the server agent, and make sure that the database server is working properly. Once stopped, decompress the backup and run the following command. You may also access the database server and create a new database and insert the data manually. Now retrieve the configuration files from the server. To that end, execute the following command. And the same applies for recovering the agent files. Once you have recovered these two elements, proceed to recover the plugins using the same command. And the same goes for collections and remote configuration files. And finally, recover the console. The procedure will be the same as with the previous elements, changing the file to be recovered. And that was it for today's video. Don't forget it, if you liked the video, smile, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Any suggestions, questions, or ideas, please leave them in the comments below. Remember that if you're interested in trying Pandora FMS Enterprise, you may contact us to get a free 30-day trial. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you on social media and in future learning videos.